Atlanta, in many ways, is the coolest city in America. It has Coca-Cola, I'm sure it has a lot of the other Coke too, but it has the Coca-Cola factory. It's where like half the rap industry started. It's where Tyler Perry's studios is. Freaking Medea lives there. Like, what else do you need? Well, the Braves need a lot more wins. That's been a very frustrating development in Atlanta for a while now. On paper, this team should be so much better, but they're not. And it's been such a weird situation the last few years in multiple ways. Just like it's weird if you're part of the 57% of viewers not subscribed yet. I'm just kidding. You guys are probably fine. But if you enjoy the videos, consider hitting that button, as it started in 2022 and 2023 when the Braves were statistically better than they were when they won the championship in 2021, only for the wild card Phillies to bend them over every time in the exact same way. Braves lose game 1 at home, take game 2, only to get dusted in Rocky Balboa's homeland and never return to Atlanta. Then come last year's Braves, where everyone and their mother was expecting the Braves to have that year's National League Cy Young Award on their team, only for that prophecy to come true, just not in the way a single soul would have predicted. Instead of Luigi, aka Spencer Strider, winning the award, he had to get elbow surgery, and it was Chris Sale in his first year with the Braves after some miserable injury-plagued seasons in Boston, winning his first ever Cy Young Award just when people were thinking his career was down the drain. Baseball will never make sense, but hey, it's what makes it the best. And the Braves pitching was one of the best in 2024. It was great. They had the Cy Young Award winner, but also Max Fried being dirty. Ronaldo Lopez was great when healthy. It was arguably the best rotation in baseball, followed by a bullpen just as strong. Raisel Iglesias, the closer, had a 1.95 ERA. It was a very strong pitching staff. The problem? The offense, one that was historic in 2023, like it could not have been any better that year, fell off harder than Gotti after releasing somebody that I used to know. It didn't help that the MVP of the Braves in 2023, Ronald Acuna, tore his left ACL 3 years after tearing his right ACL. Michael Harris and Ozzie Albies had injury-plagued down seasons. Austin Riley, the team's second best hitter, got a season-ending injury after getting hit by a pitch. Matt Olson and Marcell Ozuna were the only constants for the Braves offense all year. They both didn't miss a single game and were good, especially Ozuna. He finished 4th in MVP voting. It may not seem like it the way I just described things, but the Braves were a playoff team, although nobody expected anything out of them once they got there. And like clockwork, San Diego made quick work of them to end an overall lousy year for the Braves. Lousy compared to the other ones in recent years. But I mean, yeah, it's hard to play like you're at full strength when half your team is hurt. So 2025 looked to be different. Everyone, including Strider and Acuna, were set to return. Things were looking up, until they dropped 7 straight to open the season, while also having their free agent signing Erickson and Profar get suspended for a banned substance. Now, they eventually did catch up to 500 and even went over it. They took 2 of 3 against the Red Sox in Boston to be 24-23, just for George Washington to tell them to go themselves. Nats take 2, but they still had a big gun, the biggest gun yet to be unleashed, and that was now happening against the Padres. Ronald Acuna Jr. making his return for the first time in over a year. He sends the first pitch he sees a country mile, and you're thinking, oh my god, here we go. This is what they needed. Just like you need some good deals for tickets if you want to go to some baseball games. We're in the thick of the baseball season now, which means it's the perfect time to talk about getting tickets to go to games, and that's where SeatGeek comes in to help you out. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app with over 28 million downloads. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. And they always make it really easy to see which seats are the most ideal to get. SeatGeek holds your hand through this with a scale of 1 to 10, so you know if there's a good deal or not. Green is for the good deals, red is for the bad deals. And this is where I come in, as you can get 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek by using code iTALK10. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code ITALK10. Make sure you click the link in the description or the pinned comment to download the app. Now back to the video. Cunha has been great. He's been thriving. Rest of the team? No, not real. Well, rest of the lineup? No, not really. The Braves, again, could not have been any better in 2023 offensively. It was ridiculous. And in hindsight, it's so easy to look at that year and want them investigated. It's insane. They not only had the best OPS in all baseball that year, but the gap between them and number 2, the Dodgers, was crazy. Their team OPS was 845, which is great on its own. 50 points higher than the next best Dodgers. I mean, it was just stupid how elite they were. Well, they fell off from number 1 to number 12 last year, and this year, 22nd. Acuna not being there most of this time, yeah, it helps with that, but it hasn't just been his absence. And I mean, we know that because he's been mashing for a month and a half now, yet the Braves offense is still not that good. The best things about their offense is, of course, Acuna. Matt Olson, he's been really good in their catching situation. They have two good hitting catchers in Sean Murphy and Drake Baldwin, which is really rare to have for any team. Everyone else is either having a down year for their standards or just straight up bad, and I don't mean Sidney Sweeney bad. Michael Harris is like an even more extreme version of how Julio Rodriguez's career has gone so far. A very good defensive center fielder who won the Rookie of the Year award but has steadily declined each year offensively and is having by far his worst offensive season this year. He's too young to give up on or anything, obviously, but it's been bad. The Braves haven't had much of an offensive shortstop for a while now, and Nick Allen hasn't changed that. He's providing zero offense. Ozzy Albies is having the worst year of his career. They brought on Alex Verdugo to see if he can get his career going, and that went just about as well as Will Smith's music comeback. And then Austin Riley and Marcelo Zuna are both having solid seasons from a general standpoint, but not that good for their standards. Again, 22nd in OPS as a team, not helping out what's been a pretty strong pitching staff. Even after losing Max Fried, who's been awesome with the Yankees this year, the Braves starting rotation, they've been good, but it also hasn't gone without its own problems, and that goes for the whole pitching staff, including the bullpen. Renato Lopez immediately had to get shoulder surgery, so he's been out. AJ Smith-Shawver was going good, well, had to get Tommy John. Bryce Elder seems unsalvageable at this point. He's been so bad, and even Chris Sale, the reigning Cy Young Award winner, he's been great. That hasn't changed. What changed was how his ribs looked after diving for this ball, breaking them, and so off to the injured list he went. Raisel Iglesias, who's been the closer the last 4 years, has been doing anything but closing. And again, the Braves pitching hasn't been bad. It hasn't been nearly as dominant as it was last year, but it has been pretty good. The issue is that all these issues suck that much more when the offense has had so many of their own problems, which just makes any pitching problem that much worse and just detrimental to the overall team. They're like a less extreme version of the Texas Rangers. The Rangers have the best pitching staff in baseball this year and an offense almost as bad as the Rockies. Like, it doesn't get more ridiculous than that. And the Braves aren't that, but for them, it's worse because at least with how bad things are going offensively for the Rangers, they have the literal number one pitching staff. The Braves don't have close to that while also having an offense that's pushing how bad the Rangers have been having it. Add that up and you have a terrible month of July to just tack on to how bad the season's already been going. They recently took the first 2 games of a 4-game series against the Mets in New York, and before the Mets series, they'd lost 2 of 3 to the Marlins, which of course that's not a good look. So to immediately start winning again against a better team made me think, okay, maybe they have something here. And just when you think this could be the start to something better, they score a combined 3 runs in the next 2 games, lose both of them before going home to get manhandled by Philly 13-0. So that's 2 straight games of getting shut out. Then they score 6 in game 2, winning 6-1 just to lose 2-1 in the finale. Now the Angels come into town, and what does Atlanta do? The exact same thing they did in the Phillies series. 0 runs in game 1, putting up a lot of runs in game 2 for the win, just to follow that up with 1 run. Series loss. 2 straight series losses, but here's the best opportunity to start getting wins back on the board. The last place Orioles are coming to town. This is the exact type of team you gotta beat. So it especially sucks when they do the opposite of that, which really in the end makes you realize the 2025 Braves and 2025 Orioles aren't so different after all, which before the season probably would have made sense to say in a much different context. Yeah, I don't think anyone back in spring training had on their bingo card that the Braves and Orioles would be the same, but in a really shitty way this year. Atlanta's also had a thing lately for scoring a lot of runs in game 2 of a series, but have that sandwiched in between games 1 and 3 where they don't do much of anything offensively. The difference between this series against the Orioles is the middle game where they actually decide to put up some runs. They lost that game anyway, 6-9. What? Why is the camera panning to me? Oh, because I said 6-9. You can't be mature for 5 seconds. Come on.
That's what she said.
Oh, for God's sake. The Braves get swept at home by the Orioles. That ends a 9-game homestand where they went 2-7. They're 2-9 in their last 11 games and are 11 games under 500 at the time of this video. It'll be really interesting to see what decisions the Braves make trade-wise because of just how downhill it's going. The way I look at them is really the same way I look at the Orioles. This isn't something to blow up. Obviously, there is talent here, and this could be back to a very good team next year. But clearly, whatever is going on right now is not the answer. I mean, the Braves are bound to miss the postseason now for the first time in 8 years. It's gotten so bad, even if not a lot needs to be done to fix things, at least some changes and big decisions have to be made because they're cooked right now. Let me know your thoughts and thank you for watching. Love you. Bye.